do a translation so that the rest of us we can hear this confession. The message reads like this. Hello, my brother. How are you? Can you please post for me as anonymous? I have something which is eating me each and every day. In short, my brother Nashi, all that I can say is that I sacrificed my own younger brother because I had joined Satanism, so his blood was then needed for the sacrifice. When he was still alive, my father was a polygamist and he had so many children. My father had so many children, so much that we don't even know each other. When I look back in the past, it was almost as if me and my younger brother, we were almost like orphans. My mother died whilst she was giving birth to my brother. And when my mother died, one of my father's wife took him and had to breastfeed him. But Nashi, growing up, we were treated so badly, and everyone would do whatever that pleased them. And since our mother had passed away, there was no one who could come and defend us. My father was such a wealthy man. He was so wealthy enough to buy so much land that he could build houses for all of his wives. But after my father's death, what happened is that when my father passed away, my auntie, who was one of my father's sister, she came and she took my mother's house, which our father had built for our mother when she was still alive. What our auntie then did, she removed all of the property that had once belonged to my mother. It gives me great pain each and every day when I think that my auntie, after she had removed all of my mother's property, she just dumped all of my mother's property outside. As for my younger brother, the reason why he could not attend school, it was because we would wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to do all the house chores. So by the time that we would finish up doing all of the house chores, for us to then start preparing for school, it will be too late. When my brother started herding cattle, he was only 5 years old. Then my auntie got a job for me, and then I started to work for her best friend. But when I got there, as I started working for my aunt's friend, I noticed something so strange about her. She lived all alone in her house, and I never saw any of her relatives visiting her. And she told me that her family had died in a car accident. But I only got to know the whole truth the day that she initiated me into Satanism. This woman that I was working for then gave me a room to sleep. And she told me that the room that I was going to be sleeping in, that room had once belonged to her late son. It was all fine with me, but the very first day that I slept in that room, I saw strange things in that room. And it was as if I was having a dream. What I saw was so scary. I saw a young boy. This young boy was dressed in white clothes, but his clothes had blood stains. So this kept on happening and happening until I had to inform my boss. So after I had told her everything that I have been witnessing in that room, she then told me not to worry. She told me that whatever that I was seeing was being caused by a deceased son's clothes that were still in that room. So she said to me, don't worry and do not be afraid. I worked for that woman for almost half a year as her gardener. Then I was not allowed to go outside of that gate, neither was I allowed to associate with anyone else. After that, what would happen to me was that I would find myself sleeping with my boss each and every morning in bed. So me and my boss, we became almost like husband and wife. Then she started to make this kind of a tea that I have never drank in my life. She told me that me drinking this tea would strengthen my heart. when I will eventually become a ritualist. Each and every time when me and my boss, we will make love, she kept on telling me that
Heard about Eats and Beats, the supper club that combines food and music. They got a GoDaddy domain and a...
this tea was going to help me not to be afraid if I were to ever encounter any spiritual being. And she also gave me money to go and to apply for a driver's license. After I had acquired my driver's license, me and her, we then started traveling. We traveled a lot outside of the country, where she would go with me. She would go and visit a Sangoma. My story is so long, my brother, but I will try to make it as short as possible. So, when the days of visiting a Sangoma were near, we will put empty buckets under the bed of all her children who had died in the car accident, and we would also put an empty bucket under the bed in which she used to sleep on with her late husband. And if we were doing this ritual, we will then do this ritual whilst we were both naked. So we went room by room. We would place empty buckets under the bed. Then we will travel to her Sangoma for more rituals. After we had traveled out of the country, when we would return, we would find out that those buckets that we had placed under the beds will be full of blood. Then we will take those buckets that will be full of blood. We will then take those buckets and place them outside. Then at around midnight, a scary looking creature would come and drink that blood from those buckets. As for this animal or this creature, no word can explain how it looks like, because as this creature will be moving, it would transform into so many shapes. After performing this ritual in the morning, we would wake up and we will see that in the house there will be a lot of suitcases filled with money. We stayed a lot at my boss's vacation house, which was in Cape Town. Now, when we were in Cape Town, because of all the money that we had, I bought so many top-of-the-range cars. I would ride each and every car which was new on the market at that time. My boss then died, and everything in the house started to disappear. The first thing that disappeared in the house was a certain television set. This happened whilst I was watching TV. One day, when I was busy watching television, that TV set just disappeared, including the cars which were parked in the garage also disappeared. When this happened, I was then informed that there was no more blood in the house, and that was the reason why things were disappearing like that from the house. So I had to come back home, and then I sacrificed my own younger brother. Dear listeners, right there was a message